Everyone, welcome back to another video. So this one's going to be a breakdown of the strongest levels to look at for the week ahead. I'm going to break down gold, the SPX, oil, GU and EU. So I'm going to be moving forward posting these videos every single Sunday. This will be coming out Monday evening, just because I am obviously a day behind. But obviously moving forward it will be every Sunday. So if it is something you're interested in looking at weekly, obviously subscribe to the channel alongside all the other content. So if we look at gold, this is the daily candle for Monday. We're still pushing up, but you can see we've had some form of rejection. So all I'm going to do now is just identify some areas where price may pull back from. If you have seen the previous videos on the channel regarding key levels and things like that, when we are looking at the higher time frames, it's always worth looking at where people are going to be taking profits from the market. Okay, so if we're looking at this first area here, you can see that it's not a super clear daily high, but it is still a bit of structure in the market. Partnered with the 2020 round number, you can see that price didn't quite tag into it, but that is something that you could be looking at. So obviously the people that are buying now we've kind of filled this high here. Where's the next place price can go? This one here. Once price breaks this high at 2022, where's the next one? We're going for this high at 2050. So once you start shifting your mindset from trying to just find trades to looking at when people are getting out of the market, that's when you can start getting into the market. And that's kind of what my whole strategy is based around. If we're looking at the areas moving up, a big obvious one is the 1930 low. We've also got one here, which I would be looking at. So for example, if price on gold was to start pushing down, where would we maybe see a pullback from? Well, initially, we may see a pullback from here, and I'm going to change this to purple. So initially, the 1987 or 1990 area, you may see a pullback of a small amount, okay? Just because it's a small higher low within the market. However, then you can see price, once it reaches 1965, I would expect a larger pullback, which would look something like this. And this could also stem from the high up here. So this is realistically what you would be looking at from a bearish standpoint on gold. Obviously, if gold was to keep pushing up and break this high, then you're looking at the 2050 area where people will be taking profits. All it means is that if the market is moving up, by looking at the round number with the high, you are literally just able to say, well, I imagine that people will be taking profits up at this area, and this will then cause price to pull down. And that is as simple as that. So all we are doing is finding the major daily zones, trading them, because that's when people are getting in and out of the market, and that is the easiest way to trade the market, in my opinion. Okay, so this is the first example for gold. You'd potentially be looking at 1990 on gold here for something like that before taking a larger position at 1965. Okay, so this is my outlook for gold. If we go on to the SPX, pretty good price action over the past few weeks because price has literally just been pushing to the upside. Where has price kind of fallen from now up and around here? It's this cluster. So there's nothing necessarily which has caused price to stop at the area it has. As you can see, there's no real structure. We did take out this area here where you can see you've got support, resistance, resistance, and price has broken through that level, retested it, and then started pushing to the upside. So realistically, in a situation like this, you could potentially look for the retest of this area here before targeting the bullish bias up here, up to the highs. The only thing to take into consideration with this here is that how overstretched price is. There's a lot of gaps within the market in between the candles, which most likely will need filling. So if this is the case, where is price going to go, assuming price was to keep pushing down? Well, in my opinion, you do have a break retest area here that I would also put as like a medium zone. I wouldn't really like to trade the break retest. I very much like trading the lows a lot more within the market. Okay, so something like this. So what you may see is price pushing down, pulling back from this level at the 4400 before pushing down to the low at the 4340, and that's where you could potentially take a bigger position within the market. So this is what you may see regarding this. Realistically, if price doesn't respect this area rather than just pushing down, you may see a retest into the area before a continuation down. But if you are someone who trades SPX, I would definitely be looking at these areas here as something to be my reference point when it comes to getting in and out of the market. Okay, just a reminder as well, guys, if you do want to see my daily trade ideas, there is a group. So if you do want to be part of that and join the community, the link will be in the bio, where you can basically just every single morning I will send my positions, and if you want to follow them, you can. If not, same again. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so this is the daily on oil. When we're looking at the daily, you can see here that price action has been pretty slow, but realistically, where are we going to be looking at? Now, if price was to push down to the 72 area, you could potentially see a reaction from there before a push up. When it comes to a move down, I'd probably say it's a little bit too clustered up here at the minute. I would most likely be looking at something in and around that area there. So when it comes to weakness, I would expect the $80 mark to maybe give something, and for strength, the $72 mark. If we was to break these lows here, same again, look, triple bottom here, price has respected it 3 times. If we didn't respect that level, you've also got an area here down at 64, which has been respected twice. So just by looking at this market here, you've got 3 areas of strength, and then here you've got an area of weakness. Same again, where could price go? You've got a high there, you've got a high there, you've got a high there, you've got a high there. Alongside all of this, guys, if you do watch my previous videos, you can also see that you may want to start adding confluences. So it may well be that you've got a trend line here. So you might want to trade the third touch of this trend line with the high. You might want to add a Fibonacci to the chart as well and have something like this. And then say, well, I've got a 61 Fib here with the previous high. Same again here, Fibonacci with the high. So there's multiple ways to trade these levels. This here is just outlining, obviously, the strongest levels within the market. So for immediate areas that I would be looking at, there's the 72 area for strength and the 80 area for weakness on oil. Okay. Besides that, if they're broken, then just look to the previous highs, as always, to see what goes on. If we now look at GU, let's just have a look at obviously what price has been doing now for today. You can see that price has actually reacted from this little bit of structure here and has started pulling back. Okay, where might price pull back to? Well, if we're looking here, you can see that we have a reaction, a reaction, a reaction. So a break and retest of the 12550 area could be good for a continuation up. So that is definitely something that I would be looking at, okay? So the first area of strength for GU would be 12550, just to see if price can make it back up to the 2630 area. If we're also looking at other areas in the market, you can see we've also got these lows, but realistically over the next few days, we're not going to see price reach these areas here. If price was to break this, and now these areas, guys, you can trade them anywhere you want. You can say, I want to trade the break retest and get in. You might want to say, if price breaks this level, rather than seeing it as a profit taking area, you might want to say, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to maybe trade the price action in and around the area. If we go to the 15 minute on this daily zone, you can see that price came into the zone here, and there may have been signals for you to get in if you are a price action trader. Okay, so that's something to also bear in mind. You don't necessarily have to set pendings. You can literally just obviously look at the positions. When the areas are met, then do that. Okay, so in terms of weakness, I would look for this area here for a reaction potentially down to here. And there we go. And always, if you just draw a Fibonacci on the chart, do we have any other confluences? Yes, we do. There's a 61 Fibonacci with this previous high. So for that reason, you've got added confluence to take that trade. Okay, so that's GU. And then finally, let's look at EU. So it's very slow, but I know quite a few people do actually trade EU. So let's have a look. What can you see? Price came into the previous high. It is still rejecting this area. So from a price action standpoint, if price was to close above, where might price head to? Price might actually head to this area here. So if price makes it up to the 110.50 area, I would look to potentially see a pullback. If it was to break retest this area, you could look to go long and then also short this area if you really wanted. When it comes to areas of strength, if price obviously pulls back down to this area here, you could see something like this and a move obviously to the upside before price obviously starts pulling back down to these areas here. So for the time being, guys, the 108.50 area for longs, the 110.50 area for shorts. Now, this is just something I outline. It's just obviously the major levels within the market on the daily time frame. It's absolutely fine to trade, and people are obviously going to target these positions. A lot of liquidity is sat at these areas, so price likes to target that. So no matter what way you trade, whether it's price action, pendings, trend lines, Fibonacci's, whatever it may be, just by using these daily profit taking areas, this is what I would be looking at, okay? So as mentioned at the start of the video, these are going to be every single Sunday. So moving forward, if you are interested in that, please subscribe. All my links are in the bio if you're interested in how I trade and stuff like that. But yes, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.